1. Hello and welcome back to Bad Decisions Club presents Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Yes, we are back on the 4th of July. And because it's the 4th of July, we're doing things a little bit differently today. This is indeed the day when many of our American friends, I don't know if it includes us, but many Americans decide to celebrate the birth of our nation by blowing it up. And that means if we are actually live, that would mean lots of explosions in the background. So we are pre-recording today's session. We are still going to roll it at the usual time, as you can tell, because you're here. And if you are in chat, please say hi. At least some of us, maybe all of us, will also be in chat reacting. So we will still absolutely respond to you. So if you're here, say hi. Players, please say hi to our viewers.
Hello, viewers.
Hello.
And in fact, let's go ahead and go around and do our usual introductions. We will go ahead and start with Jeff today. Jeff, how's it going? Who are you? Who are you playing today?
Hi, I'm Jeff Holland. I'll be playing Calder Creed, our resident sorcerer and fellow explosives enthusiast.
And would you be so kind as to just move to the side for just a moment so we can see that wonderful portrait behind you? Look at that. We got new art for the new season. Speaking of which, if my math is correct, which it might not be, this is our 50th session. Depending on how we define session, this is session number 50. So we've got some special stuff in store, including a couple of new characters, one who's sort of new and old, and one who is definitely new. But in the meantime, Gail, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and who you're playing?
Hi, I'm Gail, or Olivia, and today I will be playing Charlotte de Corbel, a human wizard, and she has a familiar whose name is Swoops, and he is currently a little bat.
Now, Jen...
Also, she's maybe also a warlock. Don't worry about it.
Maybe a little bit of warlock, just a little bit.
You know, it's a treat.
Now, Jen, I notice a little bit of a costume change, so let's just go ahead and...
Small smidgen of a costume change.
Have you tell us who you are, and we will go ahead and save the character reveal for the beginning of game. So why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Jen Winterrose, also known as the Swedish Geek Ball, do art, do all sorts of stuff, and yeah, I've been playing Kritha, and I have played Clarion, and neither one of them are here today.
And finally, appearing as though by magic, it is the one and only, the lovely M. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing?
I'm M. I'm one silver key on all of the places. I am the colorist of the art today. And I am hella out of it, so we'll see where we go. I'm playing Del, this one. Totally fair. Del, who was just, I believe, introduced in the last game or the game before?
Last game?
Was it last game? It was last game.
Time is an illusion.
Time is nothing. Yes, indeed. And speaking of last time, it was the game before. That's right.
Yeah.
At the very end. Speaking of last game, let's go ahead and do a quick recap as we always do. And last game was mostly like inter-party plot or intra-party plot, inter-party plot. I don't know. Whichever one of those prefixes means both, within the party. where everyone sort of decided where they were going to go. There were a lot of goodbyes. There was a lot of sort of item swapping. There was a very direct proposition from Echo to Calder, which I thought was pretty great.
Some spit swapping.
And
there was some challenges asked for.
And I believe where we started last time, in fact, was Kritha's sort of final scene for the foreseeable future, where she and Calder and Sven and Barnabas sat down to talk about the future of the Stone Tooth. Yeah?
Yeah.
And about whether or not, while Kritha is clearly the spiritual leader of this place, whether or not she had the political acumen and the backing to actually be the ruler of a dwarven citadel. And it was kind of decided between all of you that no, it makes more sense that Barnabas be like the ruler and have his clan move into this citadel, but have Kreitha remain as the Forge Master as well as a top advisor to Barnabas, and also the one who could shut down the Forge anytime she wants. So there is that.
Just a bit of political power.
And in order to facilitate this, Calder had a very, very good idea of making it a financial transaction. Something that dwarves could understand. This goblin took over the Citadel, and she has the backing of the Citadel's original ruler, and through a financial transaction, she's able to maneuver the leadership of the Stone Tooth to Barnabas without it being seen as anything improper or any more unusual than it already is.
It is neither a surrender nor a coup.
Exactly. So no political after effects there, and also Kreitha's pretty popular among the Boulder Shoulder clan as well as the rest of the clans that exist in the Stone Tooth. So,
hey guys, they found it. They found the one good goblin.
Hey.
Oh, the one of the good
Racist.
ones trope. I see.
We are dealing with dwarves. The
no.
dwarves in Faerun are not great people.
Dwarves in Faerun, it took a lot, right? This particular group is beginning to get a little bit more accustomed not only to goblins, but also to the idea of working with gray dwarves. But that's still very much a localized phenomenon. The very vast majority of dwarves out there are still very much prejudiced against goblins and Dwarger, among many, many others, it turns out. Now, after that, again, it was mostly goodbyes, right? It was mostly figuring out where everyone was going to go. I believe that our sort of quote-unquote main group, which is going to consist of Delmain, Jen's new character, Calder, and Charlotte, are going to go and track down Baba Yaga, who has made her presence known in the Prime Material Plane, seeming to take an interest in the large rituals that are going on. We don't know what her motivations are or anything like that, but she is powerful enough to be able to either disrupt or enhance the goings on. So at the very least, dropping by, having a visit, making sure she's not going to fuck everything up even more than they're already fucked up, probably a good plan. And then I know that Echo and a few others, including Pyre and Sven, of all people, are going to be heading towards Waterdeep, which is going to be a scene that we're mostly going to be narrating in downtime background. Maybe do a one-shot later, we'll see, depending on whether we feel like it. And that's about it. Like, the rest of it was all details. And you know that when it comes to details, I love to throw to all of you all to tell me a few of the details of what I missed there. So let's go ahead and start once again with Jeff. If there's anything that you wanted to contribute, what's something I missed from my recounting there?
For the recounting of the last couple of sessions, covered all the main bases. We got all the meetings were had, some challenges given, and we'll see how those hash out. We have discussed it and are deliberately leaving it vague of whether or not the fade to black between Echo and Calder led to anything. That'll be funny.
That's for fan fiction to
yes.
figure out.
Exactly. That'll be for someone else to speculate about.
Oh, and there is speculation, let me tell you.
Canonically, we know that Echo and Calder spent some time together in a room without any cameras present.
Yep. And that's I guess that's about all I got. There was a really nice heart-to-heart between Calder and Kreitha, which I really liked.
Agreed. In fact,
a lot of touching goodbyes.
all the interactions with Kreitha were great. Speaking of Kreitha, Jen,
Yes.
did you have a favorite little bit that you wanted to recount?
Well, I mean, I really did enjoy the conversation where like she had with King Barnabas and everything. Like that was an emotional one. I did enjoy that.
Yeah, I agree. That was really, really fun.
And she claimed him as family, so that's
Yeah,
an
she
interesting
did.
detail.
And also mentioned, hey, by the way, you might have to deal with a wayward tribe of goblins that, though they're not super powerful individually, are probably pretty numerous.
Yeah, that's the thing, is there's a lot of them.
There's a whole continent between us and them. That's a later problem.
That is a later problem, although they have already proved that they can infiltrate even a fairly well-defended dwarven citadel, as certain goblins are wont to do.
Yeah.
That's a scouting party. It's a very different thing to smuggle an army.
That's true.
Yeah.
M, was
Just
there anything that
watch
you
him.
wanted to fill in?
Nope.
Fair enough. Gail, was there anything you wanted to fill in?
I did want to point out that Ghost is also part of the party that's going to Waterdeep. If anyone
yes.
was wondering where they were.
Where he may or may not be wanted for quote-unquote crimes or
I want to
quote-unquote...
be clear. I play a lot of NPCs in this game. So, yeah, where my characters end up is not necessarily super important.
We established from, I believe, the beginning of the Forge of Fury that M loves making characters and playing them for a little bit and then letting them off into the sunset, which I really respect. I like that.
I mean, there's a part of me that does like it when they get, like, remembered, but also, like, I don't actually care.
Fair
It's not
enough.
important until it's plot relevant.
It's not important until it's plot relevant. Like, there's a lot that I would... Because I feel like I would have a lot more mental issues if I cared.
You had to track all of that. That's a lot to track. But anyway, I
And
think
with
that's about
that,
it from
yeah.
last session.
I think we can go ahead and jump into game, which we will do right now.